Did you say you have one lens only? You're in the right place. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Thomas Love here from beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, and today we're gonna discuss about the Leica Q2, which I had the chance to use for almost a couple of years now. Before Leica, I was using my Nikon D750 for a few years, and I have to say that the menu was very intuitive on Nikon, and in the transition to Leica, I didn't miss anything, so I'm really happy about how the menu is organized in this camera. I never missed a shot because I was always able to find the metering mode, and of course, the commands are so easy and well thought on Leica. I was also used to shooting manual, and Leica, they kept things very simple. You have your f aperture ring here, the shutter speed is on top of the camera, and this button is dedicated to the ISO. So you really have anything you need very handy. What does shooting with the Leica Q2 mean for you? If you come from a DSLR, you will love it. I also normally use the viewfinder. I use the dial here in the rear of the camera to move the focusing point, and then I'm halfway focused and I shoot. If you come from a rangefinder like the Leica M system, you will love it as well. This is Leica's interpretation of a point-and-shoot camera. What does it mean? It means that you have the chance, if you want to prepare your framing with your camera using the rear monitor, and with the finger you would just change the focusing point and shoot. You have the release when you touch it. First thing first, how is this camera built? It is a brick. It feels very solid. It feels metal. It feels premium. I'm very happy about it. The only thing I had to add was a grip, because I have big hands, so with the thumb position here in the rear and the grip, I was able to hold it for hours in a row without even feeling it. You would be also able to wear it everywhere you go. This is a tribute to Mr. Overgaard that says you should always wear a camera, and I tend to agree with him. If you have it with you, you're ready to go. In a few moments, you would switch it on and you're ready to shoot. So every time you walk down the street and something gathers your attention, you're ready to capture that scene. So we were saying, it is a very solid build. What about the lens? The lens is a beautiful Samilux f1.7 28mm that perfectly matches the full frame sensor with 47.3 megapixel that this camera has, and will allow you to deep dive into the details even after you shot your picture, and eventually, if you need to, you can crop it. Talking about crop, there is a very quick function already in the camera. This button, you will be able to crop to 35, 50, and eventually 75mm. Please be aware that the DNG file will keep all of the information, but when you're opening it in Lightroom or whatever software you're using for post-production, you will see it already masked, while the JPEG will be hardly cropped and come out already at that dimension. Is 28mm the best choice? I think so. At least it feels natural to me, because I was used to 50mm on Nikon, and this is almost the half of it, so it kinda keeps the same proportions. Of course, you have many more elements in your frame you have to be aware of, so whenever you're shooting with a 28mm, you will see a bit of distortions of the buildings or funny face expressions if you use it for portrait and you're too close to your subject, but still, it's a very good choice. It feels good to me. I'll show you a few examples now, because I had this camera with me, of course, in Canada, in Vancouver. I had it with me in Italy. I had it with me in Hawaii. The outcome of 2 years of shooting with this camera is outstanding. I'm very happy about it. It is also fair to say that this camera will change the way you are shooting. Why? Because of course the result of your photography will be a combination of how much time you have to practice with your camera and how connected you are to it. So every time you change camera, you will change the way you shoot. With Nikon, which was still a full frame DSLR camera, I had a couple of lenses, 24 to 70 2.8 and 70 to 100 f2.8, which was like the base. And then when I wanted to go around a bit lighter and easier, I had my 50mm f1.4. Right now, you only have a 28mm f1.7, but in addition, you will have an in-body image stabilization, which is good help to a certain extent. I mean, if you want to freeze the action, the in-body stabilization will not help you because you still need a fast shutter speed if you want to freeze the action. So the in-body stabilization comes into play when you go down low to like 1/60th of a second or lower. The in-body stabilization will help you to gain like 1-2 f-stops more. But then of course you will need a tripod, and of course your subject will still show motion blur, so it's a good help up to a certain extent. In case you need that, you can just switch the command here and transform the 28mm into a macro lens. That's a very useful thing to have nowadays, always with you. And don't forget that this camera is also able to shoot 4K videos if you need that. Of course, you don't have any jack, you won't have any external port on the body, so the audio needs to be recorded separately and then synced. But eventually you might shoot your videos with this 4K full frame camera, which I do most of the times, apart now because I have to show you. I will now show you a few examples of street photography taken with this beautiful camera. In Canada, in the States, in Hawaii, Honolulu, the North Shore, in Italy, in Milan, Lake Como, and a few more examples for you to enjoy. The battery has a quick release, this switch, and then you just push it and you remove it. I have never run out of battery in 2 years, but I have a second one spare battery just in case. The position of the memory card is in here. You only have one SD card, so be sure you get the fastest card that you can find, because if you need to record 4K videos, you will need at least a UHS too. Keep following the channel. I will post in the next weeks a few POV videos shooting street photography with this camera to show you how easy it is to go around and use it and get the picture you always wanted with it. If you got any value out of this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, and if you also click on the little bell over there, you will get a notification for any new video that I will be posting. Feel free to comment down here and let me know what the other aspects you want me to discuss. Thank you for your time. I'll see you soon.